Now, Al, I would really like to be happier, and what you've told me so far definitely is going to put it in my control.
Yep.
But to be honest, the minute I walk out that door, okay, life's pressures are going to react on me. People pulling me, pushing me this way and that, you know, and I'm not going to remember all this stuff. I tell you, I won't have a hope in the world. I will be lost. I just live in the real world, not a vacuum cleaner.
All right, well listen, I've got the magic, the secret, not the trick, but the way to create a better life for yourself, and absolute freedom really in your life. Okay?
What is it?
It's called the better self, your better self.
Better self? Sounds a bit more like I'm going to be up myself.
No, fair comment.
Right.
Okay, I'll give you a bit of an analogy here, okay? Imagine if you're a little guy and you're living in France and you jump out your door and you go down the street and then you're going to look around the city and have fun, but what ends up happening is someone honks the horn at you and then someone abuses you and you get a bit lost and all of a sudden you lose your way. You don't know where you are. How would you find your way in Paris? How'd you go, you reckon?
I don't reckon I'd go very good because I don't think GPS Navman works in Paris. You know, very low buildings.
Absolutely. You know, that's a good point about the low buildings because there's really nothing much over 3 stories high.
Okay.
So everything looks the same. But imagine if where you were living was the Eiffel Tower, that massive point. How would you go finding your way home, right?
Well, you can see that from anywhere, so that'd be great.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well the better self is whether your Eiffel Tower in your life is your ideal behaviour, the way that you will behave when you're behaving to your absolute best. In other words, you're designing the ideal way you behave.
Okay, my better self. Well, what's your better self?
Okay, well actually I do have a better self because what happened when our business went broke, I actually lost my way a bit. I was whinging and I was focusing about the past and I realised I was condemning my past to my future. So what I did is say, I better define, how do I want to be? How do I want to act? So I looked, and first I looked at Winston Churchill because even in the hardest parts of the war, when it looked like they were done for, he always focused on the positive, on the vision. So I said, I'm going to take his traits. I loved Conrad Hilton because he was a man so honest that in the 1930s he could gain $25 million credit from his handshake.
I'm flat out getting a flat beer from a handshake.
And then I looked at the SAS motto which said, never complain, never explain. And man, I needed that.
Right.
And then I thought, okay, what comes naturally to me? What do I do just naturally? And I realised I love making people more confident and more happy. That's